Pancreatic cancer is the third leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States, and it hits men and women equally. Of all cancers, now, pancreatic cancer still has the worst survival rate. That's got to change. Here now to talk about it, to raise awareness, and to tell us about a great annual event. We're happy to welcome back to the show Barbara Foley. She's the president of the Ron Foley Foundation. We also have a very frequent guest, Dr. Andrew Salner. He's the director of the cancer program at the Helen and Harry Gray Cancer Center at Hartford Hospital. Glad to have you both back on the show. Good to see you, Doctor. Glad to have you back here. For people who are not familiar with the foundation, having been on the show before, tell us about the foundation. Tell us about your husband.
My husband Ron was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2004, and when that happened, we realized we knew nothing about pancreatic cancer. We felt we were informed, but were stunned by this silent killer. He passed away in 2005. We buried him on his 60th birthday. But after his death, I just wanted to raise awareness. It became a passion. So I had a backyard party, Kentucky Derby Day party. About 75 friends and family and guests came to the event. We raised about $19,000 and donated that to pancreatic cancer research.
Fantastic. With
the help and encouragement of friends and volunteers, we moved it to Foley Farm in Simsbury the following year, and it has grown. Last year we had 450 guests, and we raised $275,000. So our mission, the foundation's mission, is to raise money for pancreatic cancer research, to raise awareness through education, and to raise money for pancreatic cancer patients in financial need.
And doctor said before, it is still such a low survival rate. Why is that?
Right. Unfortunately, Tim, most of the patients present with already advanced disease because the disease tends to not cause symptoms until it's already advanced. So the research that we focused on, and we're privileged to be a recipient of research grants from the Ron Foley Foundation, is to really look at how we might diagnose the disease a little bit earlier by looking at patients who have known hereditary risks because they're carriers of genes, certain cancer susceptibility genes, or because people are known to have a cyst in the pancreas. And whether we can analyze that cyst and find if that cyst is pre-malignant, perhaps by removing it, we can prevent a cancer from occurring. And that's really the focus of our research in terms of trying to diagnose the disease earlier and make the survivorship much greater.
Is that relationship to the cyst, is that a relatively new development?
It's relatively new. It's work that's just been done in the last few years, and we're waiting for more years to really determine what the fruits of our labors are in terms of early diagnosis.
What else is exciting? You had mentioned before.
Yeah, there are some new drugs that are more targeted that are now being used to treat pancreatic cancer. There's some new techniques for radiation. Unfortunately, only about 20% of patients are potentially operable, which means that 80% of the time the disease is already grown outside of the bounds of what a surgeon can remove. Right. So we're really exploring additional non-surgical treatments, which will hopefully shrink the disease and in some cases cure it or control it for a longer period of time.
But just to reiterate, if, and it's a big if you can catch pancreatic cancer early enough, it seems treatable.
It absolutely is. Okay. That's true.
So that's what we have to do. That's why we have to raise money. It's great to hear that there's something new because we've done a lot of stories on pancreatic cancer and there hasn't always been a lot of new things to report.
Right.
Back to the Run for the Roses.
Yes.
We do a lot of fundraisers. We tell people about a lot of them. They're usually walks, golf tournaments. They're both wonderful, by the way.
Right.
This is unique. Where did you come up with the idea?
We just it used to be a family tradition to have fun whenever the Kentucky Derby was on. Ron would take a hat and we'd put money, a bet into the hat, and we'd pick a horse, and it became a family tradition. So I just thought, rather than a golf tournament, why not a Kentucky Derby Day party? And it's a great tribute to him because it was absolutely full of life. It's a great way to raise awareness and in a fun setting and for a very serious cause.
And it's great to have some pictures of them up here, some video from the previous events. You know, if you're mentioning putting money in a hat, I guess a Kentucky Derby hat is the hat that you want. Look at this one right here. And might I add, it's not a coincidence that it's purple.
Oh, not at all. That's the color that signifies pancreatic cancer, represents pancreatic cancer. thus the purple.
Yes. Now, this is a pretty good party. I mean, I've heard some,
Oh my
some
gosh.
stories.
A very good party.
The mint juleps are going.
It's Yes, it's held at Folly Farm in Simsbury. It is this coming Saturday from 2:30 to 7, and it is under a giant tent. An equestrian center in the middle of an equestrian center, so there'll be horses, and it's just stunning. New Country Mercedes is our New Country Motor Cars of Hartford is our presenting sponsor for the third year in a row. We're so happy to have them. They'll have cars there. They'll have Mini Cooper, Smart Cars, and Mercedes. We have Galvanized Jazz Band. We have mint juleps, wonderful hats,
Great-
silent and live
great food.
auctions. Yes,
And
great
Mr.
food.
Fury is a wonderful.
Mr. Fury, yes,
Well,
yes.
he's going to take care of the weather, right?
We hope, Joe, I know you're not right over there in the Weather Center, but you're listening. All right, thank you so much. Here's to
you.
8 wonderful years.
Thank you.
Let's go for another 30, 40 more. How about that?
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Sam.
And Doctor, thanks for
And
joining
might
us
I add
again.
that tickets are still available.
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm
at
sorry to mention that.
ronsrun.org.
ronsrun.org, and we'll get that link up on fox61.com for you as well.